This is Bobby at Copel TV Repair with a follow-up video about a mainboard for Vizio M421VT. We made a video of this board about 10 days ago when somebody ordered a mainboard for Vizio M421VT, and we sent them that board. We made a video before we sent the board based on a past experience with customers complaining that it wasn't that board that previous customers complained about, but they did complain that boards didn't work, and so we made a video before we sent it showing that it does work. This is that same board, and the video can be found, if today is the first, somewhere around the 15th of September 2019, functionality proof for Vizio M421VT mainboard. I may include a link in this video to the previous one, and this is the same board. I don't know what I focused on back then, but it would have been, I don't know, some unique markings on the board as I usually do. And this is our usual setup. Customer came back, said board was having bad image, and this is the image that it is producing right now. I covered those two lines before. There may be a single line or there may be two. I just want to first show the rest. Colors are perfect. Taylor Swift rocking. And I want to very briefly talk again, even though I covered those before, and I covered them in many other videos. This TV here is Vizio E422VA. That's an LCD TV, meaning the backlights on it are driven by an LCD, by fluorescent lamps that are inside the panel, where Vizio M421VT is an LED TV. It has a different power supply board. It has an LED driver, but it happens to have almost the same main board. It also, by the way, the M421VT is a later generation. It also has Bluetooth module built in, and the keyboard can be paired with the TV and typed, where the E421VA does not have that. The boards for the two, though, are nearly identical, and as a service center, of course, we use a single set to be testing both of them if we can. Those are two boards. One of them is for M421VT, the other is for E421VA. There are several ways to differentiate between them. There are very minor differences that are in the components that are being put on the board that tell the board which TV it is meant for. The most apparent tell is the presence of this connector, which is for the Bluetooth module, which E422VA does not have. If I zoom in here, you will see that those solder joints have never been soldered. This is how the board was produced, and there's just nothing there because E422VA does not need it, where M421VT does have that connector. That is the first and most apparent difference, not the board numbers here. The part numbers are a tell, but there's a number of them for both TVs that Vizio uses, so it's kind of hard to remember them immediately. Of course, there is a number of small differences as well, and those two lines that I showed you that are still here are part of those differences. One TV can show the other, but it does have, in our case, those two lines that drive up and down. Those will disappear if we put E422VA in this TV, or if we use that board on a proper M421VT. This board is fully functional. Customer said that there was a problem with an image, and they said that they uploaded an image, but there wasn't an image uploaded. We've sold and repaired, maybe not hundreds, but we've repaired hundreds of those boards since 2015 or 14, whenever they came up. So we'll be treating this as a return of a functional board and just withholding restocking fees, which we do every time we have to test a board. We have to be paying the PayPal final value fees. This was just a totally pointless exercise moving boards back and forth because of a problem that is at least for me, very apparently somewhere else in the TV. We have many more such boards. All of them will do the same thing if we put them here. I've covered this topic many times before in other videos dating years backwards. So nothing really to add here. I'm sorry it has to happen that way, but you know, we shouldn't be paying for problems that we didn't cause. This board is fully functional and we do not intend to be paying for moving it back and forth. Thanks.